Look, I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. Success in business, in your finances, in saving for the future doesn't just fall into your lap. You can plan strategies and green that you want, but if you don't understand one simple truth, you're setting yourself up for frustration. Here's the truth. Everything comes in its perfect time. Confía, truth. Truth that God's timing is not a delay, it's a strategy. Opportunities, investments, breakthroughs. They arrive exactly when they're supposed to. The disciplined, patient, and smart will be ready to act when the moment comes. Today, I'm going to show you how aligning faith with action doesn't just make sense spiritually, it makes sense financially. Because in business and in life, timing is everything. And if you trust the process, the payoff can be extraordinary. Let's start with a truth that most people in business, finance, and life refuse to admit. Hustle alone does not equal results. You can dream the 6 hours a day, make every deal you can, optimize every investment, and still fall short of what you're chasing if you don't respect the timing of things. Confía. Trust is not a passive exercise. It's an active strategy. It's an active strategy. It's an active understanding that there is a rhythm to opportunity, to growth, and to wealth creation that cannot be rushed. Every successful entrepreneur, every savvy investor, every person who has built lasting financial security has learned this, whether they admit it or not. Timing is not an inconvenience. It is the invisible engine behind every success story. Think about it. In your business or in business, how many times have you seen someone panic and make a move because they were impatient? They see a competitor closing a deal. They see a marketer closing a deal. They see a market trend, they feel pressure to act, and they jump before the time is right. The result? Money lost, opportunities missed, reputation damaged. And yet, if they had waited, if they had trusted the process, the exact same opportunity could have turned into a windfall. God's timing beats your hustle every single time because it is perfect, precise, and aligned with a bigger plan that you can see when you are in the middle of the scramble. You don't have to understand it to benefit from it, but you do have to understand it to benefit from it, but you do have to respect it. Now, some people here trust God's timing and think it's a cop-out for laziness. Wrong. Trusting the timing of God does not mean you sit on your hands and do nothing. It means you prepare relentlessly, you sharpen your skills, you position your skills, you pre-skill, and you execute flawlessly. But you execute when the moment is right. A wise person once said, opportunity is missed by most people because it is dressed in overalls and looks like hard work. But I would add, opportunity is also missed because it often arrives in God's timing, not yours. You can work harder, but if your timing is off, a lot of effort can be wasted. Confía doesn't mean you wait passively, it means you wait strategically while you build the strength. Knowledge and resources needed to capitalize when the perfect moment arrives, resources needed to capitalize when the perfect moment arrives. Look at the biggest success stories in business and finance. They didn't just grind blindly. They observed, they learned, they analyzed, and they waited for the right time to act. Warren Buffett didn't buy every stock he saw. He waited for the undervalued opportunities to appear. He didn't panic during recession. He trusted that the name of the market would reward passion. Elon Musk didn't launch every idea he had immediately. He waited for the technology, the market, and the timing to align before making the leap. That's the essence of Confía. Timing beats hustle because results are rarely about who works the hardest. They are about who works the hardest. They are about who acts at the right moment with precision, preparation, and faith that the opportunity will appear. In practical terms, trusting God's timing also means understanding that failure, delays, and obstacles are not punishments. They are calibrations. They are adjustments that align you with the opportunities that are actually meant for you. If something isn't happening when you want it to, it's not a signal of incompetence. It's a signal to refine, to learn, to position yourself better. Every entrepreneur who builds a lasting business, every investor who creates generational wealth, and every investor who achieves financial independence knows this. Timing is invisible, but it is everything. You can control your effort, but you cannot control the moment opportunity knocks. The smartest, most successful people are those who prepare tirelessly while having the discipline to wait for the right moment to strike. This is where many people go wrong. They confuse hustle with impatience. They think the more deals they chase, the sooner success will come. They think every market shift requires immediate action. They ignore the fact that there is a bigger force, a bigger plan, orchestrating the timing of the things that matter most and matter. Confía is the bridge between your hard work and your breakthrough. It is the understanding that your hustle alone is not enough. You must align your effort with the perfect timing, and that timing is often beyond what you can see or control. When you grasp this principle, everything changes. Your decision becomes sharper, your investment smarter, your investments better, your risk-taking more calculated, and your anxiety traumatic are vertical, when your anxiety traumatic are equaluter, endurance rate dramatically corrupted because you stop forcing results and start trusting. Let's get one thing straight. In business, finances, and wealth building, patience is not just a virtue, it's a competitive edge. Most people misunderstand patience. They see it as slowness, as passivity, as an excuse for inaction. They think, if I'm not moving every second, I'm losing. That's wrong. Patience is not about doing nothing. It's about timing your moves with precision, understanding the market, the opportunities, and the resources at your disposal, and positioning yourself so when the moment comes, you strike decisively. The people who win consistently are not the ones who panic and act first. They are the ones who act at the right time with full knowledge, full preparation, and full confidence. Patience is not a weakness. It's a strategic advantage that multiplies everything you have worked for poor finance. This principle is non-negotiable. Think about the stock market. People see a stock going up and they buy immediately. Afraid to miss out, they panic when it dips. They make rash decisions because they are impatient. Meanwhile, the investors who are truly successful, the ones who build generational wealth, are those who wait. They study, they analyze, they understand the patterns, and then they move when the conditions are perfect. They understand that tanto del key can destroy value as much as acting too late. Patience allows them to avoid the noise, focus on the signal, and make moves that are both profitable and sustainable, That is the power of patience. It lets you maximize outcomes while minimizing mistakes. In business, the lesson is the same. Entrepreneurs who rush decisions, chase every opportunity, and try to scale too quickly often fail. They better extend themselves, burn out their teams, but extend themselves that are unstable. On the other hand, those who cultivate patience, use it strategically. They understand their market, build their brand, develop their team, and wait for the right conditions before making bold moves. Paciencia gives you leverage. It allows you to negotiate better deals, attract better partners, and position yourself out when the opportunity arises. You are ready to take it fully. It transforms what might look like inactivity into preparation, and preparation into dominación. Paciencia is also about emotional control. Too many people let fear, greed, or insecurity dictate the decisions. They chase trends, panic when numbers drop, and take shortcuts. They compromise their long-term goals Strategic paciencia means keeping your head clear, your focus sharp, and your eyes on the long-term prize. It means being disciplined enough to delay gratification to endure temporary setbacks, and to continue building quietly while the impatient burn themselves out. The strongest investors, CEOs, entrepreneurs all understand this. They know that patience compounds in ways that immediate action never can. Think about real-world examples. Warren Buffett didn't amass billions by rushing or by acting impulsively. He waited for opportunities where the value was clear, the risk manageable, and the timing perfect. Jeff Bezos didn't try to dominate the e-commerce overnight. He built slowly, strategically, investing patiently in growth before scaling aggressively. Even smaller business owners who survive and thrive understand this principle intuitively. They know that the deals made too soon, the partnerships forged too quickly, or the investments taken without proper research rarely succeed. Patience is the common denominator in all these stories of success because it allows you to align effort, timing, and resources in a way that produces maximal results. In the world of savings, patience is equally critical. You cannot expect to grow wealth overnight. Compounding only works if you give it time. Interest, investments, and smart financial planning are all meaningless if you are constantly withdrawing, changing strategies, or acting impulsively. Patience allows your savings to grow quietly, steadily, and powerfully over time. It is a key but ruthless advantage. Those who understand it will see their wealth multiply, while those who chase quick wins often vanish. At the end of the day, patience is not waiting. It's preparing while you wait. It is understanding that the most valuable moves are not the fastest moves, but the ones made with timing, intelligence, and discipline. It is the understanding that in business, finance, and life, the race is not to the swift, but to the prepared, disciplined, and strategically. Let me be brutally honest. Most people fail in business and finance not because they lack intelligence or opportunity, but because they lack discipline. Discipline is the backbone of success. Without it, you are at the mercy of luck, market fluctuations, and impulsive decisions. Discipline is what separates the person who builds generational wealth from the person who spends every paycheck and wonders why the numbers never add up. In savings and investments, discipline is more than just habit, it is a strategy. A preemptive move that ensures when the right opportunity appears, you are ready to capitalize on it fully. You cannot control when opportunities come, but you can control whether you are prepared to act when they do. Discipline creates that readiness. Let's talk about savings first. Saving is not glamorous, it's not exciting, and it's certainly not glamorous, it's not exciting, and it's certainly not sexy, but it is essential. A disciplined saver does not wait for a bonus, a raise, or a perfect market condition to start saving. They automate it, they prioritize it, and they make it non-negotiable. Every dollar set aside is a soldier in your financial army, waiting for the day it can be deployed strategically. Disciplining saving is not about depriving yourself. It's about creating options. When you have a reserve, when you have a liquidity, when you have capital ready, you can seize opportunity that others miss. The market doesn't wait for you to catch up. It rewards those who are prepared and punishes those who aren't. Now, let's move to investments. Now, let's move to investings. It's equally critical, but it takes a different form. It is not about chasing every hot tip, every trending stock, or every new business fad. Discipline in investing is about strategy, research, and execution. It's about having a plan, sticking to it, and not letting fear or greed derail you. You buy when the value is right, not when hype is high. You diversify intelligently, you assess risk continuously, and you avoid emotional decision making. Every disciplined investment builds your capacity to act decisively when an extraordinary opportunity arises. It is the armor you wear to protect your financial future while also positioning yourself to strike when the timing is perfect. Discipline also builds credibility. In business, partners, investors, and clients notice when someone is disciplined, they respect it, they trust it, and they want to work with it. If you consistently make smart, measured financial decisions, people recognize that you are not reckless and opportunist natural decisions. People recognize that you are not reckless and opportunist naturally profit. You cannot control the market or the economy, but you can control how disciplined you are in your approach. That control translates into power. The power to act when others are scrambling, the power to invest when others are hesitant, and the power to take advantage of timing that most two people cannot see or access. Let me give you a practical example. Imagine you are saving and investing consistently over 5 years. You encounter a market downturn or a business opportunity that looks risky to the unprepared because you have been disciplined. Because you have a reserve of savings, because you have a clear investment strategy, you are able to act decisively. You buy assets at a discount, you enter markets at the right time, and you gain advantages that others cannot touch. Discipline has given you patience, clarity, and readiness. It has positioned you to exploit opportunities at the exact moment they appear, instead of scrambling when circumstances force you to activities. The problem is, most people want instant gratification. They want results now. They want to see their savings double overnight, or their investments skyrocket immediately. That's fantasy. Discipline teaches you that growth is compounding, that wealth accumulates when you prepare, wait, and act intelligently. Every disciplined action today, whether it's saving a portion of your income, researching investments, or setting up automated financial systems, pays off when the perfect opportunity arises. It is not magic. It is the direct result of preparation meeting timing. Discipline also protects against mistakes. Impulsive also protects against shortcuts. Impulsive decisions, emotional reactions, and shortcuts are the enemy of long-term wealth. Discipline ensures that your actions are deliberate, measured, and aligned with your goals. When you are disciplined, you are less likely to be swayed by fear, hype, or impatience. You stick to your plan. You stay focused on your long-term objectives. And you create a financial position that allows you to act decisively when the moment is right. Every successful investor, entrepreneur, and business leader will tell you the same thing. Preparación, disciplina, non-negotiable. The more disciplined you are in saving and investing, the more power you have to take advantage of the moments that others cannot reach. It is the bridge between effort and opportunity, between work and reward. Discipline doesn't just make you ready, it makes you unstoppable. Let me tell you something that most people refuse to accept. Setbacks are not failures, they are signals. Every entrepreneur, investor, and business person must achieve real success may seem catastrophic. These fall through. Investments tank, businesses stumble, and markets crash. The inexperienced see these moments as the end of the road, but the disciplined see these moments as the end of the road, but the disciplined, strategic, and patient see them for what they truly are, set up for something bigger. Every setback carries within it the blueprint for your next breakthrough, but only if you have the mindset and the preparation, to recognize it. The first step, perspectiva. Too many people let setbacks define them emotionally, financially, strategic. They focus on the loss, they dwell on the mistake, and they panic. That's exactly how opportunities are lost. The successful aware analyze setbacks dispassionately. They dissect what went wrong. They identify what can be improved, and they identify what can be improved, and they map the path forward. A setback is a teacher disguised as a problem. If you are willing to learn, you can turn every failure into a setup for success. The difference between someone who fails repeatedly and someone who ultimately tries is not luck, it's perspective. In business, setups are inevitable. No plan goes perfectly. Market shift, competitors respond, clients change their minds. The unprepared crumble under the pressure, seeing every obstacle as a dead end. The strategic, on the other hand, see every setback as a chance to reevaluate, adjust, and emerge their own hair. They know that timing, preparation, and execution are critical, but so is adaptability. A setback often uncovers a better opportunity than the one you were chasing before. The key is to stay alert, stay disciplined, and maintain the belief that something great is ahead. Confidence combined with action is what turns adversity into opportunity. In finance and investing, setbacks can be especially daunting. A poorly timed investment, a market crash, or a sudden economic downturn can wipe out months or years of progress, but the most successful investors understand that volatility is part of the game. They don't panic when things go wrong. They analyze, they learn, and they position themselves for the rebound. A market attendant is not a failure. It's a buying opportunity for those who are disciplined, prepared, and patient. Every setback is an entry point for a bigger gain if you are ready to act strategically. There's also a psychological component. Setbacks test your mental resilience. They separate the dreamers from the doers. If you let frustration, fear, or disappointment control you, you will miss the setup hiding in plain sight. But if you remain composed, you can see patterns, opportunities, and timing that others cannot. The reality is that life and business are not linear. They are full of twists, turns, and unexpected obstacles. Those who succeed consistently are not the ones who avoid setbacks. They are the ones who convert setbacks into stepping stones. Look at history. Some of the most successful entrepreneurs and investors built empires after hitting rock bottom. Steve Jobs was ousted from Apple, the company he founded, and yet that setback set him up to return stronger than ever. Warren Buffett has faced market crashes that would have terrified anyone else. Yet he used those moments to acquire undervalued assets and build wealth beyond imagination. Every setback they experienced was a setup for a bigger, more strategic opportunity, and they were ready to seize it because they are prepared, learned, and waited for the right moment. The same applies to your personal finances and savings. You might have a failed investment, an unexpected expense, or a business deal that collapses. That does not mean your journey is over. It means you need to reassess, adjust your plan, and be ready to take advantage of the next opening. Every setback carries lessons that, if internalized, make you stronger, wiser, and more capable. The people who succeed are not the ones who avoid mistakes. They are the ones who avoid mistakes and set us for the next move. Preparation is the key to leveraging setbacks. If you have been disciplined in saving, investing, and building your skills, setbacks become opportunities instead of crisis cases. You don't panic, you don't rush, and you don't act recklessly. You wait for the moment when your preparation aligns with the situation, and then you strike decisively. That is how setbacks transform into setups for something bigger. Strategy, patience, and discipline amplify the value of every challenge you face, Setbacks are unavoidable, but they are not insurmountable. They are part of the process, part of the journey, and part of the plan. The people who succeed consistently are those who understand this truth intuitively. Setbacks are temporary, opportunities permanent, and with preparation and the right mindset, every failure sets you up for a future that is exponentially greater than the present. Let's be brutally honest. Timing is everything in business, finance, and investments. Most people fail not because they lack ideas, intelligence, or effort, but because they act too early. They see a trend, they see a market opportunity, or they see a potential deal, and they rush in without the full picture. Acting too early is costly. It drains capital, wastes energy, and often leads to results far below potential. Acting at the right time, however, multiplies your gains exponentially. That is the difference between amateurs and professionals. Timing is the multiplier that turns effort into real wealth. Too many entrepreneurs confuse hustle with urgency. They believe that the fastest person wins, that the first person in the market is always the most successful. That's naive. Acting without preparation, research, and timing leads to mistakes that can be devastating. You might launch a product before the market is ready, invest in an asset before the value is clear, or make a financial commitment before you fully understand the risks. The result is wasted money, wasted time, and frustration. Acting too early turns potential advantage into actual loss. Contrast that with those who understand timing. They prepare meticulously, study trends, assess risk, and wait for the perfect alignment of circumstances. When the moment arrives, they act decisively and with full confidence. That's when money multiplies opportunities, compound, and success becomes inevitable. Waiting is not hesitation. A strategy, the disciplined entrepreneur or investor knows that there is a significant action and reckless action. Acting too early is reckless. Acting at the right time is precise, calculated, and unstoppable. Timing also maximizes leverage. In business negotiations, the person who rushes to close a deal often concedes value. The person who waits, understands the market, and strikes at the optimal moment secures better terms, more favorable conditions, and stronger partnership, better terms, more favorable conditions, and stronger partnership. Pero in investing, buying an asset too soon can lead to stagnation or losses, while buying at the right time ensure maximum growth potential. Acting too early wastes leverage, while perfect timing compounds a 10. Every dollar, every resource, every minuto becomes more powerful when applied at the right moment. There's a psychological component as well. Acting too early is often driven by fear, greed, or impatience. Fear of missing out pushes people to make decisions before the time is right. Greed tempts them to overcommit, impatience blinds them to preparation and strategy. Those who succeed consistently have mastered control over these impulses. They understand that the right time is not dictated by emotion. Es dictated by preparación. Es dictated by preparación and opportunity. Acting at the right time requires discipline, analysis, and faith in the process. Look at the history of successful investors and entrepreneurs. Warren Buffett didn't jump into every stock he heard about. He waited for undervalued opportunities, sometimes sitting on cash for years until the conditions were perfect. Jeff Bezos didn't expand the mansion into every market immediately. He waited for technology, infrastructure, and customer behavior to align, and Elon Musk didn't launch every idea the moment he thought of it. He waited till technology and timing matched his vision. Their success is not because they acted faster than everyone else. It's because they acted at the right moment. Acting too early would have cost them money, resources, and credibility. Acting at the right time multiplied their gains exponentially. Timing also interacts with preparation. Acting at the right time multiplies your readiness. If your discipline spends savings, strategic investments, and strong knowledge, waiting for the right time allows this asset to fully align with opportunity. Acting too early squanders preparation. It uses your resources before they are optimized. Acting at the right time compounds your preparation, ensuring that every action yields maximum return. This is the essence of strategy. Alignment of preparation, opportunity, and execution. In practical terms, patience and timing should govern every financial decision. Launching a startup, investing in stocks, negotiating deals, or saving for the future benefit from understanding timing. Acting too early exposes you to unnecessary risk, while acting too late may mean missing the opportunity. Entirely psychoanal, the person who masters timing doesn't chase trends, they anticipate them. They don't panic, they position themselves. They don't act out of fear, they act with precision. Every dollar invested, every decision made, and every action taken is amplified by perfect timing and diminished by premature action. Acting too early costs money in ways that are often invisible at first. It drains resources, erodes confidence, and acting at the right time multiplies money, influence, and opportunity, creating exponential outcomes that would be impossible otherwise. Understanding this difference is what separates amateurs from professionals, dreamers from doors, and mediocrity from extraordinary success. Timing is the ultimate leverage, and those who master it willpower cannot be bought, borrowed, or faked.